Hey everybody, I'm here. I feel a little loopy. I feel a little, what's the word I'm looking for here? Exhausted. There's probably absolutely nothing wrong with me except for this super cute um, 80s headband that I put on the wrong way. Um, I had some horns cut out of the top of my head, and this has to put pressure on where the stitches and stuff are, so I guess it doesn't swell and bleed and stuff like that. So that's so awesome, right? uh, okay, well, so let me get back to this is driving me fucking crazy. Seriously, it keeps oh, and it's pulling like every fucking beard hair out of my head. All right, so Booktubeathon. Yesterday, this will be my day 3 and 4 video because is today day 4 for it? Yeah, okay. So day 4. So yesterday was day 3, and I read this plain white thing here. So let me see if, man, it has all my Zelda maps. um, there we go. And the Hippos Were Boiled in Their Tanks by Jack Kerouac and William S. Burroughs. Now, this I am going to call a hyped book, and I'll tell you why, because I know some of you were sitting there going, right. No, but seriously, this is a hyped book because I'm going to put it down now because the cover doesn't really have anything on it fancy, and you can't fucking see it anyway. Um, it's hyped because it was the first bit of writing that William S. Burroughs did, and I believe Jack Kerouac as well. They wrote it together about their friend who was, we'll just say, a friend of theirs that was murdered. And they both had different accounts of what happened. William S. Burroughs and Jack Kerouac write alternating chapters. And a couple videos ago, or maybe even the last video, I said that I kind of hated Jack Kerouac. Um, and if you want to know more about that, you can watch that. But anyway, after reading this, I would like to try some of his stuff again, just because I really, really enjoyed this book so much. So anyway, why it's hyped is because they wrote it, tried to get it published, couldn't get it published, and then another one of their friends who was a part of this whole thing was released from prison a couple years later and pretty much begged them not to put it out. And so this is probably like late 40s when this bit of the story took place. So they promised him that they wouldn't put it out. And then after that happened, that's when Ginsberg got Howl published, and Kerouac got something published because I don't really follow him at all. And Burroughs got Naked Lunch published, and then they all blew up. And they all kind of forgot about it. And then Kerouac did an interview I can't remember when it was. It was a bit later on from that, and talked about this book called "The Hippos Boiled in Their Tanks," and that the book existed. So the fact that this book existed got everyone really excited, and so people wanted to know more about it. And then when Burroughs was being kind of followed around for his first biography, I think in 1980, he told his biographer a bunch of stuff about it, and kind of just acknowledged that this work did exist, but they promised not to put it out. And then as the years went on, they made a promise to the guy who now was an upstanding citizen, had a family, had a career, the whole deal. Told him that they wouldn't put it out in his lifetime. And I guess that guy died around 2005, 2008, something in those, around those lines there. And so once that happened, the book was allowed to be put out. So it's a fairly newer release, but if you think about it, for like 50, more than 50 years, I guess, people knew about this book, wanted the book, and couldn't have it. So I can't think of another book that was hyped that much to have people waiting around for a half a century, basically, to get their hands on it. So, with that said, this fucker's done with Booktubeathon. Right?
Boom.
Boom. Dropping mics left and right. Look out, fuckers. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, so, that's it. I did that. So, yay. And then today, I started reading Tarzan of the Apes by good old ERB. And it actually, I only read the first 3 chapters, and to be honest, they were good, but the people who I assume are Tarzan's parents were so fucking dry to me. Just very well to do and doop doop. Da da da. Is that dandy?
I know.
Very dandy. British. Um, type of people. The type of people who would go poppycock to things and stuff like that. Yeah? That's a good way to put it. But spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure they're dead now. So the rest of the book should be cool, because I don't think the apes are going to have any proper English dialogue. So I think the rest of the book will be quite enjoyable. And then I was listening to the audiobook of The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. And it might just be the audiobook version I have, but it's getting really, really monotonous. Or it's just like he goes into like his like dialogue voice. He said, he said, he said, she said. And it's like after every fucking sentence, he comes out of this like Southern Gothic voice, which I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm dancing to it, but I don't know. But he said, he said, it's like, I almost wish, I'm like, dude, it's an audiobook. You're making different voices for these people. I understand that they're saying this, but then I guess that would be more of a audio production. But damn it, Faulkner, there's a lot of saids in that book, which is a lot different from the Sherlock Holmes audiobooks, where every time Dr. Watson has to say anything, he must ejaculate it. And that is the the 12-year-old boy in me laughs every time, but then everyone wonders why there's a 12-year-old boy in me. That's, I felt dirty as soon as I thought it, and it didn't
That's right enough to
clean up anymore after it came out. That's what he said. This is awful. I'm blaming every bad bit of this on the fact that I'm wearing this. I feel like I could be a new Star Trek character.
No, you look like a Victorian who's had his teeth pulled.
I look like a Victorian who's had his teeth pulled. That's what she said. But I feel like I'm like Whoopi Goldberg in Next Generation. Like if this just like kept going. No?
You wish.
Too much eyebrows? I get it. Oh yeah. So Watson ejaculates everything he says to Sherlock, which is just funny. It just because the way, I guess it's I don't know if you've heard any of the Sherlock Holmes audiobooks, but he's like, I say I ejaculated, and it just like he's such a fucking drama queen.
It's just enthusiastic.
I don't know if enthusiasm. I guess it is enthusiasm. But I started listening to the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes today, and I was actually hoping that the memoirs would be told from Sherlock's point of view, because they're memoirs. Are they?
Yeah, but Watson's the one who's narrating it. He's the one who takes all the notes.
Fuck. I just thought that would be like a cool spin on that. So, but that's cool. So I started that, and then when I got home from getting this done, I laid in bed and listened to the audiobook of The Lady in the Lake by Raymond Chandler, which is my favorite Raymond Chandler book. And I guess I fell asleep around chapter 4. And most of the book's over, I guess, from what Zoe told me. So that's cool. I'll take this time to do this too. I got mail from Steve. This is exciting. This is the Children of a Dead Earth series by Patrick S. Tomlinson. The Ark, Trident's Forge. I think they could have done a better job with that G. It looked like a C. And then Children of the Divide. So, thank you, Steve. I am going to read these with bated breath. I don't know if that's the correct term. Feel like I'm coming out of a weird... Okay, let me just tell you a little bit about this. 2 hours. 2 hours we waited at this place after I drove down the mountain so freaking fast that Zoe about had a heart attack. And just so we wouldn't be late. And it wouldn't matter if we were late. It wouldn't matter if we were an hour late, because there were a ton of people in there. And they had Malcolm in the Middle on from Netflix on the TV. And we're like, oh shit, Malcolm in the Middle. We haven't seen that forever. Oh wow, okay. And they had this really shit pop music playing, and the guy at the nurse's station or the little check-in place for some reason thought it was like funny to turn it up, and then it was really loud, and it was hotter than shit. Both of us wanted to die, and then a bunch of like little old ladies and little old men were being wheeled out. So they turn off Malcolm in the Middle and put on fucking Titanic. Turned the music off altogether and turned up the volume. And it has been a while since I've seen that. And good lord. Uh it's really rough, that beginning with Bill Paxton and his bleached tips and hoop earring being super cool 90s guy. And then he says, "Are you ready to go back to Titanic?" to the old lady.
It actually sounded like it.
And it's not like he was gonna fucking put her in a submarine and launch her ass down to the bottom of the ocean. So it was just like an awesome way to say something ridiculous. And then he's like, "Will you tell us your story, Rose?" Just everything that came out of his mouth sounded like the phoniest bunch of bullshit. So apparently my MacBook Pro is a fan of Titanic and doesn't like me talking shit on it. So I will now stop. But then they put us in a little room, which was the room they were going to do the operation in. And they left us in there for a really long time. And so I got antsy and I kept wanting to like touch stuff and turn stuff on. Because, dude, there was like scalpels and tweezers and weird scissors and tons of fucking syringes of lidocaine and like, oh, there was just so much stuff that I could have played with. And what was it? What's the shit called that burns stuff off? Nitrous gas or?
Are you on about the cartridge?
No, no, no. The shit.
The nitrous.
What's it
I
called?
can't remember what it was. Nitrous.
Oxide? No, that would have made my car go fast. I don't know. But there was just like tons of shit all over the place, and I wanted to play with all of it. And there was this like cauterizing.
Liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen, that's right. And there was this cauterizing thing on the wall that had all these. It had like this big dial and all these like. Actually, all it had was a big dial and like a wand. And I immediately wanted to play with that. And Zoe kept yelling at me, telling me not to do anything. And then I turned the knob on it, and she looked all upset. And then it was annoying her that I was popping my gum, and it was really loud. And she threatened to walk out, and I knew she wouldn't. So I popped my gum really, really loud. And she got up and like walked to the door, but then didn't open it. So yeah, that was fun. End of the day, there were 6 motherfuckers in the room pulling shit out of my head and cauterizing me and sewing me up and making sure blood didn't go on my face. And yeah, so it was a good day, you know. Typically, we made it back. A bunch of other good stuff happened, but my computer keeps trying to fuck me, and I'm getting irritated. So this video is gonna be over now. So happy Booktubeathon, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.